Hello everybody, I'm Steve Dan and I'm just going to run through some of the information you need about your exams this summer. Listen carefully and we'll avoid all unnecessary stress. So, it's all about being prepared. Don't get caught out. Key thing is make sure that you are in the right place at the right time. Memorize your exam timetable, write it down, pin it on the wall, put it on the fridge, put it in your phone, put alarms on it. Make sure you know exactly where you're meant to be, on what day, at what time. Make sure when you're in the exam that you're in the right exam. It's the paper that you expected and all the arrangements in that exam are as you expect. If you're unsure about anything when you're in the exam, ask at that point. Do not wait until after the exam to raise an issue. Once the exam is over, it's very difficult to make any changes or put anything right. There's not an awful lot that we can do. So, key thing then, statement of entry. You've had it emailed to you. It's got those dates and times on it. It's got all of the rules on it. Read that very, very carefully. Are you clear on what those access arrangements mean if you have them? Have you practiced them? Do you know what to expect on the day of the exam? If you're not sure, talk to the academic support team. So your statement of entry looks something like this. It'll have your subjects on, each of the papers. It'll have the date, the time, and that'll be the end time as well. It'll say if you've got any access arrangements put there for you, the room and the seat number that you're going to be in. We will put those on the outside of the doors as well, so you can check seat numbers, but it's good if you know them already. You can go in. Exams all start in the morning at 9 a.m. and in the afternoon at 1:45, unless otherwise stated. There might be one or two where we've had to switch them around a little bit, but pretty much a morning session is 9 and an afternoon session is 1:45. Please be in college ready to go by 8:30 in the morning and by 1:15 in the afternoon, so that we can get everybody in, seated, read all the instructions out, and we can actually start the exam at those times. We will not start the exams until we're ready to go, and that can cause additional stress if people are sitting there waiting because other people are not ready. If you're going to be unavoidably late, phone the college up just so that we know, then we can expect you. You can still enter the exam if you arrive a bit later, but not too late. So if you arrive too late, then you will not be allowed to take the exam. You won't be allowed into the exam room. So give us a call. Turn up anyway, get here as fast as you can, and hopefully we'll still be able to let you in, even if that's the case. Okay, don't sort of assume you're going to be late and then just not turn up. You must bring photographic ID with you, because we have to know that it is you in there, and if you don't have that with you, that will delay the exam start, because we have to get someone to identify you. Say that it is you. I mentioned that there will be lists outside the exam rooms of the seat numbers. If you're really stuck and you're not even sure which room you're meant to be in, reception can look up on the computer system because all of the exam details are in there, but it does take a couple of minutes for them to do that, so please try not to get to that point, but go to reception if you're really stuck. Don't go and try and find your subject teacher or the exams team. Go to reception. So, clashes. If two exams are happening at the same time that you're entered for, then we've resolved that by putting one in the morning and one in the afternoon. That will say that on your statement of entry. It means you'll have to be supervised over lunchtime between those morning and afternoon sessions, so that you don't talk to anybody else about the exam that you've just been in, because they might be doing it in the afternoon. You need to bring lunch with you, and you can revise and you can talk, but you can't access the internet or use your phone. So make sure that you understand that. To try and resolve sort of stress issues a little bit, you can park on site if and only if you have an exam on that day and you need to come along to the barrier. Have your statement of entry ready so that you can show that and just say, yeah, I've got an exam this morning, and you go and park on the tennis court. If you're going to be absent and you're ill on the day of the exam, please call in as normal. Call the main college switchboard number and let us know. We will not be able to phone people up and remind them if you're not in the exam or anything else like that, and exams cannot be rescheduled. So if you miss an exam, you have missed that exam. You cannot do it on another day. Let's talk about access arrangements a little bit. They've all been agreed and set up and resourced, and we can't change them now. We have to agree them with the exam board. One area that we do need to just make sure you're clear on, if it says a smaller room or an alternative room, then that means somewhere other than the big exam sports hall, but it could still be the LRC or a classroom. It will have other students in, other students with access arrangements. There might be different end times because we've got different extra time. You might have different rest breaks, etc. So it might not be on your own unless that has been clearly stated as separate invigilation, which means you have your own room and your own invigilator. And obviously we can't do too many of those because we haven't got enough rooms or invigilators. If there's something happens as an emergency, like you have an injury, and we've had before broken hands or cut hands or things like that, then contact us. We may be able to put in some other access arrangements as an emergency. If not, we'll have to put in special consideration for your situation, and I'll explain what that is next. So special consideration falls under two broad areas. One, if you miss an exam for acceptable reasons, and basically that is illness, or if you are present for the exam but you've been disadvantaged, and that might be that you feel very ill but you've still turned up, or something else that has happened around the time of the exams. So if you miss an exam because you are ill, it is sometimes possible for the exam board to award you a grade, but you must have medical evidence of that illness. You must have completed some of the assessment in that subject. So if you've got 3 exam papers, you have to have done 1 or 2 of those exam papers. They can't give a grade if you haven't completed any assessment. What they will do is take the assessment you've done and work out what you might have got if you'd completed all of it. And you must have been taught the whole course, so you must have attended enough for us to be able to say you've been taught the whole course. The second type of special consideration is if you attended the exam, but you are disadvantaged, maybe because you've been ill on that day, but you've still come in. Again, you must have evidence, and you might get a small percentage uplift. It is fairly small, usually 2 or 3% of the marks available for the paper. It must be something at the time of the exam. You can't say, I was ill 6 weeks ago, or something happened to me a year ago. It must be at the time of the exam taking place that something disadvantaged you. If you think that applies to you, then you need to email this email address, specialconsideration@longroad.ac.uk, and you need to give us the information, evidence and circumstances that you believe might fit the criteria in the JCQ guidance. And you can look that up on the website. We will not give feedback or enter discussions into this. If we think it fits the guidance that's in the JCQ document, we will send it off to the exam board. We have to send it to each exam board that you've done an exam in. It's not a block application. So going into the exam, make sure you've got the right equipment, a clear bottle with clear water in, with no labels on, a calculator if you need one with no case, and a clear pencil case again with no labels on. You can take those things in. You are not allowed to take in, obviously, any phones or any sort of watch. Doesn't matter whether it's analog or digital, or a smartwatch or not, because they're too difficult to spot the difference. Do not take any watches in. There'll be clocks in the room, and make sure you've taken any headphones out. Having those things in the exam would count as malpractice. The most common one is phones in the exam, but sometimes you have other banned materials, notes written on bits of paper, for example. Other things that you might suffer from in malpractice, disturbing the exam, and a very important one to raise is attempting to buy or sell exam papers online. That has actually been made an illegal offence, and you could end up with police investigation. Plus, they're usually scams. Certainly the buying exam papers online is usually a scam, and no such paper exists, and you'll find you're just handing over money for nothing. So we know that exams can be a very nerve-wracking period. We've got a lot of support in college. There is an off-qual guide to exam pressure that you can look up. It says the usual sorts of things. But talk to us, talk to our college wellbeing area, go to the student centre or go to the academic support area if you do really feel like you're struggling with exams, and they've got a number of techniques that can help you in relaxing and getting ready for it. Remember, anxiety is normal, stress is normal. In fact, stress can be your friend. It can boost adrenaline and make you more focused. It's when it becomes out of control and makes you not function that it's a problem. So you've done the exams. The results days are in August, the 14th for level 3 A levels and level 3 vocational, and on the 21st of August for level 2 vocational and GCSEs. We will email your results out to your college email address, so make sure you can access that. We cannot give results out over the phone. The website will have details of appeals and reviews of marking if you're unhappy, and how you apply for those. And we will post certificates out when we get them, which is sometime in the autumn term, usually sometime around beginning of December. It takes us a while to send them out, but we don't get them straight away. So it just remains for me to say good luck. Hope you prepared well. That will reduce your stress massively. Make sure you prepare and know exactly where you're going to go. Take your time and everything will be fine. Thank you very much.